This is not other guides. I will go super in depth, and if you have a low attention span, just click off. Route planning and spawn RNG, because not all spawns are created equal. For example, I have this spawn right now, and this is one of the rare 6 log spawns, meaning that you will get 6 logs instead of your starting piece of coal. Now each one has their own pros and cons. For example, the 6 logs, right? Using it, I can immediately get myself to the next level of the fire, which a singular piece of coal cannot. And also using the 6 logs, I can also put it in here and get myself a map right away. But the downside to the 6 logs is that, well, it's 6 logs. It takes 6 logs worth of inventory space. And instead, what you could have done is you could have just went over here, chopped down a tree, right? You pick up the tree's wood and you pair it up with another tree's wood. You have 2 trees and you can just throw that in there and you have a piece of coal right next to you. So that is something you could consider. In addition, you can also reset until you find yourself a very specific type of spawn. One with 2 trees right next to each other. Using this, you can cut down these 2 trees with double the speed, and effectively you just get yourself a 6 log spawn, because using these 2 trees, as you can see, I have 6 logs right here, just like so, and I can just put in the fire and get to the next level immediately. Classes. There are many classes in the game, and obviously the assassin is the best class in the game, but for an ideal composition of 5 people, you actually want to get yourself one of these blacksmiths, because a blacksmith will allow you to craft items from the next crafting bench, meaning you can go ahead and craft yourself a good bed. But the best composition would be 1 blacksmith followed by 4 different assassins. Combat. There's many things that help you in combat. For example, you'll see little bunnies that you have to fight along with other different mobs. For the bunnies, they won't fight back, so you can kind of just stab them a few times and oh, they're gone. It's just some bags of meat now, you can just eat them up. For wolves, it's a bit different, but if you have yourself a weapon, even an old axe would do, but preferably something like a spear, you can go ahead and lure them all together, like so. Hey, come here, come here. You lure them all together, and you can kind of just walk around them and deal damage to all of them. And as you can see, I'm not even being hit, because if you kite them enough, right, you want to do like a circular motion. If you're circular motion, as you can see, I took like no damage, and all the wolves are dead. Now I can just go in and save the first kid. Here's a combat tip. When you're trying to fight anything with a ranged weapon, make sure you equip it and unequip it so they can get a fast reload time. You can also swap between 2 different weapons to make it even faster. For example, a revolver and a rifle. But just a revolver, swapping in and out of it will make it attack much faster. And also here's a tip about the kid, right? When you collect them, instead of, holding the button to put them in your sack, you can kind of just press the button over here. It says F to store, but it's normally T for you guys. You just press that to immediately put it in your sack. So instead of, holding it, which is kind of slow, again, just press it and immediately put that thing in your sack. Also, here's a tip where you actually have the kid, alright? When you have the kid, when you put him down, he'll want to go ahead and move. And let's say I have 2 seconds left on the clock, okay? And it is about to turn daytime and it's nighttime right now. I can't afford to put down Dino Kid and wait for him to move his slow butt down. Like, do you see how slow that is? So basically, instead of that, right, I'm going to go ahead and just walk over here, put him down, and he'll immediately go ahead and put down his tent just like that. And just for reference, the kids normally like to go from here, Dino Kid, and then here is Kraken Kid, and then here's another kid, and also Koala Kid is all the way over here, because as we know, Koala Kid is an absolute weirdo and nobody likes her, but that's a big tip about the kids. Also, I'd like to share some crucial fuel facts with you. So, for the first level, you already know you need 6 logs, or you get some logs, preferably like 1 tree's worth of logs, plus a coal, that's enough. For the next level, you need 2 pieces of coal, and afterwards, for that level, then you'll need around like 4 to 5 pieces of coal to get to the next level. And after that level, then what you need is a bunch of coal and fuel canisters. Now wood is no longer going to help you at all, because each piece of coal is going to be worth 4%, okay, and each fuel canister is going to be worth 12% of the total fire. Therefore, if you, for example, you have like 50%, okay, 50% out of 100%, then you calculate, okay, well, I have 50% left, then that would be approximately 4 to 5 fuel canisters, because 4 fuel canisters is 48%. So that's 4.5 fuel canisters or 4.3 fuel canisters, which is basically 4 fuel canisters and 1 coal, and that's exactly what you should be looking out for. And also, 3 pieces of coal is worth 1 fuel canister, and most likely 3 logs is worth 1 piece of coal, and you get the idea. The deer is one of, if not the most important aspect of the game, and here is how you can actually go ahead and counter the deer. On the first night, the deer will not attack you. Instead, it'll just be over here watching a campfire, observing. You don't gotta worry about it. You can just explore like normal. And also, the deer is scared of any form of light, which you probably know, which includes campfires and also includes your flashlight. And those are, I'm pretty sure, the only two sources of light. Even though there are sources of light in things such as the cultist strongholds, they do not matter for the deer. And also, if your fire is out at night, the deer will go ahead and actually turn very scary and have red eyes. But of course, it won't have that on the first night because the deer doesn't attack. And aside from that, the deer, when it chases you, it also tends to get stuck on things. So when you're being chased by the deer, make sure you go ahead and make it fall behind, like, I don't know, 2 trees, for example. If there's like 2 large trees, you can wedge through and then the deer will get stuck. Or if there's a building, you can go past that building and then the deer will most likely get stuck on that. And also, because the assassin class is so pay to win, you can actually outrun the deer if you have the assassin class. Because using the assassin class, because of the 10% extra movement speed, you can now just sprint and you can literally outrun the deer, so you'll never be scared of the deer. And of course, the first night, if you go and approach the deer, it's kind of socially awkward, just like me, so it just, runs away or disappears into the void like you casually do. But what should I look out for in a game, I hear you ask? Well, I'm here to answer that. This watchtower is perfect for a flashlight because it literally guarantees multiple flashlights for you and your teammates if you are not doing it solo. But look, here's 4 flashlights. Unfortunately, if you have 5 people, you can't get it. And also, there's always loot behind this door. So if you just look at both sides, there'll normally be loot. And at later stages, for example, a couple of campfires out, you might be able to find yourself some coal in here. These campsites are amazing because they always have 1 or 2 pieces of coal. And also there's a guaranteed chest, so you can go ahead and maybe get yourself a good sack. Come on, please, give me it for the video. Okay, well, a spear, that's kind of useless for me, but yeah, you get the point. These ranches are also amazing for 2 different reasons. Number 1 is because they have a whole bunch of loot, normally a bunch of scrap, and you might even find yourself a lucky rifle here. And second of all is because there's always a bunch of bunnies in them, and you will definitely need yourself a rabbit's foot in case if you have some of those games where you have really bad luck and you just cannot get yourself a good sack. Also, I just gotta point this out, but who in the world is pooping out ammo in the washrooms, man? If you're pooping out these things, you actually need to get your bowel movements checked or something. Also, these houses are literally the greatest thing to exist in the entire game, along with other houses that carry a very specific thing, which is the wooden chairs. These wooden chairs will basically make it so that you can actually have 5 pieces of wood per wooden chair you find, and normally you'll find 3 to 4 wooden chairs, so that's 15 to 20 pieces of wood immediately, instead of cutting down trees for ages. Oh, also these tree houses they're actually pretty mid. You gotta climb all the way up here, and normally they barely have any loot. They have a couple of different loot spots, maybe some, in the early stages you'll probably find some radios or something, and there's 1 guaranteed chest, but it's honestly not worth it because you gotta take so much time to climb up it. Oh, also the snow biome, the brand new area in the game. Does this snow biome actually help you achieve a better time? Unfortunately, no. This thing, you should just avoid it at all costs. It's literally useless. It doesn't really have anything other than maybe some materials that you might want, but just keep out of it. Actually, this thing has the cultist gem, so that's the only reason why it would be good, because if you want to fight the cultist stronghold, but the cultist stronghold is locked, you want to go ahead and fight the cultist gems using the temple. For example, in this playthrough, I managed to find myself a temple, ice temple, with a whole bunch of things inside, and I'm actually able to just go ahead and whack open the ice cubes and pick up all the cultist gems and whatnot. At a certain stage of the game, after you've gotten all the multipliers, such as all the kids and all the different beds, then you'll just want to make sure that you have a cool base. Now this base, it's gotta be functional, okay? You gotta have some things such as farm plots and crock pots, as you can see over there, as well as a couple of maybe the brand new different log walls that they added to the base, or you can even add in your own tree log wall. Just anything to protect your base, and you can just add whatever you want inside. It doesn't really matter because your base is already going to be fully furnished. Also, at the start of the video, I briefly mentioned the best classes to get in the game, but let's say you don't have enough diamonds to actually get yourself something such as the assassin. Well, what do? Do you get yourself a camper or scavenger? No. Here's what you do. You gotta make sure you get as many diamonds as possible, okay? Watch the video linked at the top right corner right here. There's a card of it, and it'll tell you guys the best class, the best way you can go ahead and get yourself some diamonds. What do you actually want to craft in the crafting table? So here are some things that you must craft, okay? First of all the beds, such as the old bed, the regular bed. Going down here you have the good bed, and also last but not least the giant bed. So that will run you for a lot of scrap and wood. Wood which you will get from chairs, and scrap which you will find around the map. Also a cultist gem, but you can actually bypass crafting the crafting bench tier 4 if you have the blacksmith class, which I highly do recommend if you're trying to go for a good speed run. But if you're solo, you can stick with assassin or even blacksmith. Both are fine. Either way, aside from the beds, which are, obvious, you also want yourself a map. This is very important because it can tell you what you've actually already explored on the map, so you can make sure that you don't explore the same area twice. The button trap's absolutely useless, and of course the crafting bench number 2 is essential. Now after that, the sundial and the compass are really nice, and they're pretty cheap in scrap, so I would get them. But if you are an absolute pro and trying to min-max everything, I wouldn't get these. But if you're a regular player, I would definitely get the sundial and the compass. They're just really cool items. The freezer's absolutely useless, do not get it. The farm plot, it's only good if you're going for like 500 days plus. At this stage of the game, it's kind of useless, you can forget about it. Only if you've actually gotten all the multipliers, which is the 9x multiplier, then you can get yourself a farm plot. Also the wood rain storage is fine if you're AFKing, but if you're trying to speedrun, don't get it. Again, don't get the shelf as well, don't get the log wall, the bear trap's kind of useless, do not get it, and the crafting bench level 3 is absolutely essential. And moving on, we have the crock pot. This is fine, but you'll likely find enough food by just running around eating carrots and berries. So in a single player run, this is not really that important. If you're doing a multiplayer run and you keep on dying to food, then get yourself a crock pot, but mostly I'd say this is low priority. Do not get the radar, it's absolutely useless. The boost pad's okay, it's like a quality of life item. This is low priority. Battlefield processor is also relatively low priority because you'll most likely be using other things such as a bunch of fuel canisters and oil barrels around the map to actually supply your fire. The torch is absolutely useless, do not get it. Of course, we talked about the good bed already. The lightning rod is fine if you're AFKing and you've already got your 9x multiplier, so the lightning rod is low priority. And also, this is obviously, you will need it to get yourself the giant bed if you do not have yourself the blacksmith class. Now last but not least, we have, actually no, not last, because we have crafting bench level 5 now, but crafting bench level 4, the ammo crate is kinda useless. Oil drill, quality of life item, is low priority. I get oil drill last out of all the other low priority items. Teleporter is literally useless. This thing we talked about, it's really good. And the crafting bench tier 5. This is more of a quality of life thing. I don't think you'll even be able to get it if you are trying to speedrun for 99 days. But if you are trying to do the minimum time possible, the fastest time possible, then getting this and actually getting yourself the temporal accelerometer. Okay, this thing is quite difficult to say, but it skips the next night after charging. Now why is this so good? It's because you can go ahead and shave down your time by making night pass by faster. So this is just really good if you're trying to get a world record time. The weather machine's kind of useless, and the respawn capsule is fine, but I'll get this first. Now it's time for my homie, the Pelt Trader. This guy hooks me up with things every single time and almost guarantees a good sack. Here is the exact guy you need on the Pelt Trader. For the Pelt Trader, when you first give him a bunny's throat, which is the level 1, you need to get yourself a good sack. If you already have this, just get yourself a good axe. The old flashlight's not really that worth it, because you can find old flashlights around the map anywhere, especially in the watchtowers. Using the wolf pelt, I don't recommend you get from wolf pelt to above. These things are not really that necessary, but if you were, from these 3 items, I'd recommend the revolver if you don't have one, just because it actually allows you to take on the bears, because you definitely need a ranged weapon for the bears. The alpha wolf pelt, I'd recommend you a rifle to take down the bears, or a sack if you don't have the good sack yet, but you probably do, and you probably didn't get the good axe from here. And last but not least, the bear pelt from here, again, you probably won't get to it if you are trying to speedrun. But the best item here is probably going to be just the strong axe, because the strong axe will just allow you to go ahead and get yourself some wood in case if you are missing some of the crafts, such as the good bed. And let's say you are trying to speedrun the Pelt Trader, because why would you? But if you wanted to, well, here's how you could do it. You need to go ahead and, of course, kill yourself a rabbit and also get yourself a wolf early on. But the alpha wolf will unlock at around level 3 of the fire, and the bear will unlock at level 4 technically, but you could also get it at level 3 if you go ahead and find yourself one of these cages that may or may not contain a bear in them. You also have to try your best to avoid dying when it comes to the later parts of the game or just any parts of the game in general. So, watch this video where I actually try to beat the game while dying. It's a really cool video and I really do think that you should check it out.